If you have a used car to sell, you can trade it in at a dealership, but you'll get a lot more for it if you sell it privately yourself.
If you plan to do that, you should know there's a new scam involving criminals tampering with your vehicle to make you think it has serious problems.
I mean, you have a car that you own and somebody's vandalizing it and you don't even realize it, and then they use that against you fraudulently.
You need to know what's happening right now. A new breed of criminals is targeting private sellers across America with scams so precise and psychologically manipulative that even seasoned experts are losing thousands of dollars before they realize they've been played, and by then, it's already too late.
Known as the dirty oil scam, and it involves fraudsters spraying oil on your engine and up your tailpipe. When they start your car, there are clouds of smoke, and they try to convince you the engine has blown and then make you a lowball offer.
Right now, at this very moment, used car values are sky high and dealerships are lowballing trade-ins. So millions of Americans are doing what seems perfectly reasonable by selling privately on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist.
Rafi says the two men told him the engine had blown and the car was worthless.
It was like, oh my gosh, something must have blown because there's oil everywhere.
He was asking $7,000 for the SUV, but was convinced to take $1,000 just to get rid of it. The two men paid in cash, took an extra set of tires, and left.
And criminals are waiting for you because they've studied your behavior patterns. They know you're not a mechanic. They know you'll meet at your house because it's convenient, and they know you want to be helpful and trusting and get the deal done quickly. That trust is exactly what they're counting on to drain your bank account and steal what might be your most valuable possession.
Well, seller beware. Crooks see your Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist ad, and while looking at your car, they'll distract you and damage your vehicle, then convince you there's a problem and you must lower your asking price.
But here's the thing that should make every car owner in America sit up and pay attention. The dirty oil scam is just the beginning of a full-scale coordinated assault on car owners that's operating on multiple fronts simultaneously. What's happening right now is an entire criminal ecosystem designed to separate you from your money and your vehicle through methods so sophisticated that even experts are falling victim.
We're following a scam that aims to take your money all through the use of fake checks, and it's growing nationwide.
The fake cashier's check scam looks so perfect that bank tellers sometimes can't spot it at first glance, with official bank logos, watermarks, security features, and paper quality that feels authentic in your hands.
According to law enforcement, it has all the markings of a scam.
The remitter here, Teresa Hayes, that does not look like the signature of Teresa Hayes. Looks like it starts with a D. So that would be an indicator, a flag right there.
You hand over the keys, feeling secure in your transaction. You deposit the check at your bank. You celebrate the successful sale, and 2 days later, your bank calls with devastating news. This is counterfeit, and you're liable for the full amount. Your car is gone, your money is gone, the buyer is a ghost, and you're now in debt to your bank for thousands of dollars.
David just opens the hood of his Buick to show me what he's almost embarrassed to admit. He was ripped off by a scam mechanic.
Needed some car repair work done, went on to Craigslist.
There, he found mechanics offering their services for between $25 and $50 an hour, half the price of a dealer.
Then there's the fake mobile mechanic sabotage that's so brazen it seems impossible until it happens to you. A buyer brings his mechanic to inspect your car before finalizing the purchase, which seems professional and responsible and exactly what a smart buyer should do. Except that mechanic isn't inspecting anything because he's actively breaking your car by loosening hoses, disconnecting sensors, damaging components, and creating problems that didn't exist 5 minutes ago.
He would have had to remove off these bolts off of here to pull this engine out of here. And you can obviously tell that the bolts never had any rust removed off of them.
David was out more than $500 with an unrepaired engine. So he searched online and found this is a common scam nationwide.
Then he turns to the buyer with a serious face and says, "This car's got serious issues and major problems. I wouldn't pay more than half the asking price." And suddenly, your $7,000 car is worth $3,000 because of damage this criminal just created.
We saw everything. I said, we've been scammed. I said, this is a scam.
This is a case of seller beware.
Title jumping is destroying people's lives in ways they don't discover until it's too late to do anything about it. Middlemen buy your car but never register it in their name. They flip it immediately for profit to another buyer, and when that car gets into an accident or racks up parking tickets or gets used in a crime, guess whose name is still on the title and who the police come looking for? Yours. And you have no way to prove you sold it because these criminals never created a legal paper trail.
He says they use genuine yet forged documents and fake owners and buyers to help turn stolen cars into quick cash the past few years.
Digital odometer fraud is off the charts and happening at a scale that's making the problem almost impossible to track because criminals hack the computer system and roll back mileage from 180,000 miles to 50,000 miles with no physical tampering and no evidence that anything was ever touched. You pay $15,000 for what you think is a low mileage gem that should last you years. You drive it for 6 months feeling proud of your smart purchase, and then the transmission explodes because that car actually has nearly 200,000 hard miles on it.
An auto fraud investigator says criminals will put oil on the engine and in the tailpipe to make the car smoke and appear to have serious mechanical problems.
They really presented a convincing story to the owner that his car has blown the engine.
After every hurricane that hits America, flood-damaged cars are cleaned, dried, detailed to perfection, and shipped across state lines with washed titles that make them look like they've never seen a drop of water. They look absolutely perfect when you buy them with interiors that smell fresh and engines that start right up, but then the mold starts growing in places you can't see. The electronics start failing one system at a time, and the frame starts corroding from the inside out until the car becomes a safety hazard that's worth nothing.
Somebody had to remove the windshield, replace the plate on the front dash, print out the new GM sticker on the door to replace that VIN, and then they had a title that was a good type.
Barge VIN cloning is even more sinister and devastating because criminals steal a car, find a legitimate vehicle with the same make and model, swap the VIN plates with professional precision, and create paperwork that looks flawless to everyone, including DMV workers. You buy it legally, you register it in your name, you make payments on it, you love your new car, and 3 months later police show up at your house and seize your car because it's stolen property. You have no legal recourse, you lose everything including all the money you paid, and the real criminal is long gone.
Key fobs make unlocking your car and starting it easier than ever. But that convenience is being exploited by thieves so they can quickly and quietly pop the locks.
Key fob relay theft happens while you sleep peacefully in your bed thinking your car is safe in your driveway. Criminals use signal amplifiers to communicate with your key fob through your front door and walls. Your car thinks the key is right there next to it. Doors unlock automatically, the engine starts without resistance, and they drive away in under 60 seconds. With no broken windows, no forced entry, no alarm triggered, just gone like it was never there.
Florida Highway Patrol troopers say he targeted a crash victim, towing their car without permission and driving with an expired license. Now a local tow company warns this is a growing scam that's now showing up here in the Bay Area. So how can you make sure you don't become the next target?
Fake tow trucks pull up in broad daylight, hook up your car, and drive off while bystanders assume it's a legitimate repossession or authorized tow. You come outside an hour later and your car has vanished from a public street with witnesses who saw nothing suspicious. Or you get a text message that says, "Urgent recall, bring your vehicle in immediately for critical safety repair," with logos and formatting that look exactly like official manufacturer communications. You show up at the address they provide because you're concerned about safety, and they either overcharge you for fake repairs or steal your car outright while you wait in their lobby.
And he was looking underneath the mats and looking for the spare tire and had me completely occupied, so I was not aware of what the other person was doing.
The catalytic converter swap scam is pure calculated evil that destroys trust between buyers and sellers. Thieves replace your real converter with a hollow fake that looks identical from the outside. You sell or trade in your car thinking everything's fine and passing inspection. The new owner discovers the truth weeks later when their check engine light comes on and they pay thousands to fix it while you're long gone. and they have no way to track you down or prove what happened.
A North County couple's American dream quickly turned into a nightmare after wiring nearly $800,000 to who they thought was their escrow agent. Instead, all of that money went to a scammer.
Online escrow scams are bleeding buyers dry across the country by exploiting the very safety measures people use to protect themselves. You find your dream car online at a price that seems reasonable. The seller asks you to use their trusted escrow service for everyone's safety and protection. You wire the money because the website looks legitimate with professional design and security badges, and then the seller disappears while the escrow site goes dark and the car never existed in the first place.
Rafi is upset he was scammed out of $6,000 and that he trusted the two men.
To be taken like this, I don't know how somebody sleeps at night after doing this.
Why do even smart people fall for this when they should know better? Because these scams exploit human psychology in ways that bypass intelligence and reasoning and rational thought. They create urgency by saying, we need to decide now or we're moving on to the next seller. They create authority with official-looking documents and uniforms and mechanics who seem professional. They create fear by telling you, your engine is destroyed and you're about to lose everything. And they create trust by arriving in pairs and acting friendly and seeming genuinely helpful and concerned about your situation.
And most private car sales happen without issues, but if you feel uncomfortable during a sale and the buyer is pushy or something doesn't seem right, cancel the sale and say you changed your mind. If they won't leave, call the police.
You're not stupid for falling for this. You're human, and that's exactly what they're counting on because human nature hasn't changed, even though criminal tactics have evolved to exploit every psychological weakness we have. America is facing an epidemic of automotive fraud that's happening in driveways and parking lots and online listings and costing people their life savings while criminals get richer and bolder. The only weapon we have is awareness and the willingness to share this information with everyone who might become the next victim. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.